Hello YouTube, and this is just a video on how I make explosive pellets. Now some people have different ways of making them, but this is just my own way. Now things you'll need for this is a piece of paper, folded any way you want really, just make sure it's folded. Some water, I just have mine in this handy syringe, you don't need to have it in one of these. You're going to need a knife. Some pellets, preferably hollow point would work, but anything that really has a cavity in the front to hold the powder mix should work. Some form of container and some ring caps. I used these, but most other brands of ring caps should work. Now, to start off, you want to take some of the ring caps and you want to put them on the paper. You want to take your knife and push them into them. And they shouldn't go off, but if they do, they don't go off very often, and they normally don't hurt. I mean, they don't hurt you pretty much. They don't cause any damage if that's, I mean, maybe they might scare you a little bit, but that's about it, if they go off. Now you might have little white things fall into the paper, like these, but you don't need them. Anyway, and just you keep doing that with your caps until you got a substantial amount of powder. I prefer using at least 3 rings worth of caps to get enough powder for you to, well, get enough to put it in the pellet. You'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. Okay, now once you have a substantial amount of powder collected, take the powder and put it in the container. Get the powder towards one side of the container, like so, and then drop a small drop of water in. You don't want to do too much because you want to have it be of a good consistency. Just kind of mix it in. You can use your knife to mix the powder and water together. Okay, once you have your powder all mixed up, what you want to do is take your knife and try to collect some of the paste, the powder paste. And this is what you'll put on the, yeah, and the more water you add, it makes it a little more difficult to get enough of this. But typically, you should get enough. And then once you have some of the powder, you want to take it and you want to put it over the hollow in the pellet that you're using. Now I'm having a difficult time collecting any of this in here. You might too, but I haven't really found a better way to do this yet. I mean, if you guys have, make a comment please. There we go. So there I got a substantial amount. You just want to put it in the pellet. So now my pellet looks like this. There you go. So it should look like that. And then just set it out to dry. When it dries, it should look something like this. Now, I did in the video make an experimental version that added a mix of match powder and magnesium shavings to the mix. It doesn't really do anything, I've noticed, but I'll still have to do tests on stuff to see if the incendiary mix has any actual incendiary value to it, or if it's just a waste of space. Anyway, so we'll go on to the testing, which I've already tested, and that's it. Okay, so here I am testing the normal pellet. I'll shoot the modified one right after this. See, it had a flash for sure. Now let's turn to the other side. This is where we'll be shooting the explosive incendiary. Okay, finally loaded in. Now we're testing it. Now we're going to go see the results. This is the side I shot the explosive in, and we'll check, see if there's any difference between the two. about a little more than an inch in, like slightly more than an inch in. So, let's see what it looks like. Definitely smells of powder. And that's what it looks like. It looks like there's still a little bit of residue left in it, but oh, look at that, it's smoking. And smoke trapped by the, you might not see that, but let's see the incendiary one. Now, it might have, no, okay. An inch, actually no, about the same. This looks slightly different. Definitely has a stronger residue to it. The entry for this one, I mean, I think the entry for both of them have a bunch of powder residue on them. Yeah, they both have a bunch of powder residue, but it looks like the explosive one has quite a bit of it in there. Although both do have some. I think this, yeah, this is the incendiary side. But anyway, so comparing the incendiary and the explosive on deformation terms, it looks like the incendiary and explosive mix expanded a bit more. Although I think this might just be a variation in the amount of powder put in, because this is also an explosive one right here. This is explosive, explosive, explosive incendiary.